I feel like taking a nap.
Yeah, I got balls, course I read. I got balls, won't you listen to me?
Hello, 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 and welcome to The Author Has Thoughts. I'm the author in question, Gary Ballard, author of 12 self-published novels and a short story collection. Today, I am talking about episode 11 of my Kindle Vella series, Hiss, Whistle, Dead, which is going to eventually become a novel with 15 total episodes that will be part of my Bridge Chronicles cyberpunk near future sci-fi series. Links in the description below about where to buy all the books, including where to buy the episode. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be told about when my new episodes are coming out, which will tell you that there's a new episode of Hiss, Whistle, Dead coming out. Episode 11 and 12 were originally one larger episode that I split into two because of word counts. It was originally, I think, episode 9 was around 5,900 words. And I really didn't think I should pare it down by like 900 words, so I decided to just split it in two. Episode 11, we get to the heart of Barney's issues. I'd hinted about it in earlier chapters, but great big spoiler warning, spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. In this one, we find out for sure that Barney has DID, which is dissociative identity disorder. This used to be called multiple personality disorder, but it's now being called DID. There's multiple personalities knocking around in Barney's head, tied to specific traumatic experiences in his life. Like the first time he kissed a boy and was threatened by his father about it, which we see in this episode. We also see that Barney used his programming skills to construct virtual homes for his different alters, which is what they call personalities. So that when he's on the global net, his avatar actually changes based on which alter is in charge. I'd had the idea for exploring someone with multiple personalities using the global net back before I wrote the first Tales from the Bridge Chronicles set of short stories. I just never got around to writing it. The concept at the time was that there would be multiple global net avatars. And in the end, the climax of the story, the reader would find out that they were all the same person, just with multiple personalities. I was probably thinking of the plot more as one of these is the killer, but which one? You know, very sensationalist, cliche type of way to look at it. That's probably why I never wrote it, because I couldn't get my head around the concept that wouldn't be, just kind of stock. So when I was looking at this book, that idea resurfaced, and I decided to actually do some research about the condition. That was when I found out that it wasn't called multiple personality disorder anymore. It was called dissociative identity disorder. Like, I think most people would confuse DID with schizophrenia, but those are two totally different things. Schizophrenics will hear voices, but they aren't necessarily voices of multiple distinct personalities that live within the same person. They're actual auditory hallucinations. Those who have DID don't really hear voices in the same way, though they can have hallucinations. I'm really glad I did some research on DID, because that helped me write Barney and his alters as a more sympathetic character, not as a villain. It allowed me to explore some of his traumas and how those traumas affected his relationship with Lillian. I tried to make the shifts from alter to alter more subtle, sometimes being intentionally confusing about who was talking. Barney might be saying something to Lillian, but in the next paragraph, I would, write out that it would be Annie talking, that sort of thing. And I found out that when people with DID shift alters, which is what they call it, it can be a really confusing, disorienting situation. So I wanted the audience to get a little bit of that disorientation as well. And of course, it leaves you wondering, did Barney really know that he and Lillian were having sex, or did he not know? Barney created, and again, spoilers in this, Barney created this joy buzzer, but did he know that Lillian was even using it? Did he know, but he didn't know why he kept allowing them to use it, mostly because of Annie. I tried really hard to be respectful of people with DID because I know it can be extremely difficult to live with. It's one of the reasons I didn't want to turn it into, this his third alter is a serial killer. Dun dun dun. I think that gives people all sorts of misconceptions about something that is a very real problem in real people's lives. DID sufferers are probably more likely to hurt themselves than anyone else around them, just like most people with any sort of mental health condition. Most of them aren't, violent towards other people. They probably are more violent to themselves. Making people suffering from mental health into these one-dimensional serial killers doesn't really help us understand what mental health really means. It doesn't help the conversation that we need to have about mental health, and it doesn't help to dispel some of the stigmas that are around mental health. I'm going to put some links in the description about where you can find out more about DID. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the episode that it's a companion to. Hit the like button if you liked it. Leave me a comment, please. Let's talk about this. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when there's new episodes out. And, check me out on my socials, Instagram, Blue Sky, that sort of thing. Come back next week when I talk about episode 12. My name is Gary Ballard, and these have been my thoughts.
1, 2, 3, 4.